Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. I'm George. Our guests are two lovely young ladies from the University of the West Indies. And let me introduce, first of all, Miss Shirlan Cabrales.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Welcome to ACTN.
Thank you.
Ms. Cabrales, you are the Sports Management Program Director and Lecturer in Sports Management.
Yes.
And we have Mrs. Calista Gregoire.
Yes, good evening.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And you are Sports Management Program Coordinator.
Correct.
And you all are here to tell us about an initiative put on by the University of the West Indies. So, Maria, it's up to you.
All right. First off, could you give us a little introduction to the program that we're talking about this evening?
Okay, so the UE FIFA CIES program, Sports Management Postgraduate Diploma, was offered in January 2010. It's in collaboration with the CIES, which is the International Center for Sports Studies, located in Switzerland, under the auspice of FIFA. It's an executive management program that provides participants with the educational background for executive positions or leadership positions in the sport industry. The program is for working professionals, so it's a blended learning program structure, 90% online, 10% face-to-face. The face-to-face session allows the student to meet with their lecturers, as well as the lecturers to meet with the students. It takes place the first week of the semester, each semester of that 1 year period. The program is offered for the Caribbean region. The program is offered in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is the hub for the Caribbean region, and it's offered in 16 countries in total. Just to give you some of the countries that is offered: Argentina, Brazil, Egypt, Peru, Poland, Russia, Senegal, South Africa, Spain, United Emirates, Arab Emirates, and Venezuela. So Trinidad and Tobago is the hub for the Caribbean regions for persons throughout the Caribbean who are interested in taking part in the program.
So this is a program that has a lot of international recognition.
Correct, yes.
Are you the coordinator for the program?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. What's really the objective and the format of the program?
The objective and the format. Okay, so the format, so it's 1 year, 3 semesters. There are eight modules. I will just list the modules. Sport management in sports, communication in sports, law and sports, sport finance, sports marketing, human resource management in sport, event management, and sports facilities management. The objective is basically to allow the participants the management tools to run their clubs, associations, federations efficiently, as well as to provide the practical experience consolidated with the internationally recognized qualifications such as the program, because it's accredited by FIFA, CIES, and it provides the best practices, the applications for you to apply all of these, because it's a broad vision of management. So it gives you a great all-round program, curriculum. It's multidisciplinary, and it helps you in terms of putting the best practices and all these things into practice at your sporting events or industry or field anywhere.
Okay. You know, when one see or hear the name FIFA,
Right.
they connect one time with football.
Right.
How does FIFA, does football ties in with the CIES? How does the merger?
Well, what happened is that FIFA recognized that there was a gap or a need for qualifying and training people in the field of sport. So, so part of the directive was really to educate and to train the administrators. And being FIFA, being an international organization throughout the world, they felt it was necessary to develop an educational arm that would will have far-reaching capacity, and that's how they came up with that program, the CIES program. So they partner with CIES to deliver this sports management program, and that's where the whole relationship developed.
Okay. So you are the director of the program.
Yes, I am.
Right. Tell us what's your role and function. You know.
Well, I liaise directly with FIFA, not FIFA, with the CIES. myself and Carissa Calicia, mispronouncing Calicia's name. Myself and Calicia, we market the program. We try, my role really is to try to develop relationship outside the Caribbean and try and, you know, have a vision for where we will go next. So it's more like a strategic position, but still work with her very closely as delivery part of it as well. So that's my particular role.
And what's the direction right now?
Our direction is ready to go down the Caribbean. First, the program, when it started in 2010, it was face-to-face, fully face-to-face. You had to be on campus in classes. Now, as we see the program developed, and to date, we have over 100 Trinidadians who have taken this program. So at one point in time, you know, you have to think about saturation and you have to look at expansion. And being the only center in the Caribbean, then the next obvious move is to try and make it available to people throughout the Caribbean. And now with this modern technology of online education, so it was a natural transition now to make it blended learning. So which means that you have more scope and you have a bigger market that you could target. And so that's the reason for us expanding, and that's the direction, is really to reach out to all the little Caribbean islands that we can really go there and set up a program. So now what they can do is come to Trinidad for that 1 week, and then they go online and we deliver the program via the online system. So that's basically what we want to do.
I know Maria is involved with sports, so she'll have a ton of questions to throw to you all.
Yes, well, I'm wondering, what sort of students do you attract and what are their goals? What is the outcome that they hope to get from taking the program?
Well, we have a very diverse set of students. So at one point in time, we were attracting physical education teachers. They were actually looking to improve on their knowledge in sports administration. Because as a physical education teacher, it's more the physical aspect. So they're required to develop sports program like events. They also have to deal with booking event facilities, making sure the facilities are prepared. So I think there was a natural transition for them to do this program. The other people who are very interested in the program, people who are trying to change a career. And so they say, okay, well, I love sport, because every interview that we do, they always say, I have a passion for sport. And we're like, oh, what is that passion? So explain your passion. So it's really people who has a passion for sport and they want to learn more, or you'll find some administrators in the NSO who understand that sport is a business, and they recognize the need to take it to that level. And you have to train. I mean, you don't hire somebody to run a business without a business degree. So we are very happy that some of the administrators in the NSOs recognize the need for training in that area. So that would be most of the people that we cater to who are attracted to that program.
All right. And what kind of partnership do you have with the NSOs or communities that some of these students would be coming from or going to?
Partnership? Do we have partnership? I mean, we try to develop partnership based on assignments. But to say we have a direct partnership with any particular NSO, no. We are trying, our relationship, or how we try to connect the NSOs with the university, is through our lecture series. We have 3 international lectures every year that is supported and sponsored by FIFA and the CIES. So through those lectures, we invite members of the NSOs, sports administrators from all different areas, be it the community or internationally or in the Caribbean. We invite everyone. So that way we are able to expose them to what's outside, and we also get the opportunity to have a conversation with them, show them what we have to offer. And if it is that they're interested in a particular topic, we are very willing to come to them to deliver at any level that they would want. So that's basically how the relationship, we're trying to develop the relationship where they can see the need for us and we could try and move sports in a particular direction. So that would be the best way I could explain that.
How do you all market this program in order to get it out there for the people who are interested to know about it? Is it online? How do you go about attracting students, if you call them students?
Okay, well, at the moment, interviews like these, one way. Then we have the Management Studies Department website. The program is highlighted on the website. I send out an email blast. I've researched in terms of getting all the VPs and the presidents and all these persons from all the national Olympic committees and the sporting organizations regionally as well as in Trinidad and Tobago. So locally and regionally, the program is basically marketed. Persons who participating in the program from the other islands, the countries as well, I send the information to them. They forward the information onto their sporting bodies, professionals. Within UE as well, we have the undergraduate bachelor's of sports management. So the program is highlighted with them as well. So even if they want to move from the undergraduate to the postgraduate diploma, they can proceed to upgrade into that degree. Basically, advertising, newspapers, radio, television. So it's a whole comprehensive marketing strategy that I actually put out to get the program in, known to the public. Even athletes as well. I've asked athletes to promote the program on behalf of us, and it's placed on Facebook as well too. So there are different avenues. Whoever is in the sporting industry, friends by both of us or any persons from the international reach, the CIES, FIFA, they are aware of the program. So it's a whole 360-degree plan for marketing this program.
Since the inception of the program, have you all seen growth? Like the amount of students over the years gone by?
We are we are very consistent. I would say between 15 to 20. Our max is 25 students.
Okay.
So at one point in time, you'll get about 25, and then you'll get about 15. So our average would have been about 20 students per semester. So it's actually for UE, it's a self-funding program, and it does very, very well. We're able to fund ourselves and have a profit, which is always good for any business that you're in. So, so it's pretty good.
Especially in the current situation.
Exactly.
Making a profit, that's, kudos.
Exactly. But what I wanted to mention is that I don't know if you're familiar with the Faculty of Sports that recently launched in UE. So it means that the Faculty of Sports now, it's an overall faculty for UE, meaning St. Augustine, Caville, and Mona. So our mission or our vision right now is to offer the program on all three campuses, to have a face-to-face present on all three campuses. So our first move is Mona campus. So now a student in the Caribbean can choose Trinidad as his home base or Mona, Jamaica as his home base.
Okay.
So thereby now we're expanding the program a little bit better, more accessible, because maybe some students might be able to come to Trinidad, but if they can go to Jamaica, we will go to the face-to-face, and then we'll go online and teach everyone asynchronous or synchronous, meaning at that point in time, or all lectures are recorded, so a student, if you're unable to attend that particular time, you can actually go on and listen to the lecture whenever you can. So that's our plan as far as expanding as well. So I wanted to make sure I mention that.
Okay. Now, when you look, the program is designed sports management to help you better equip yourself, in the managerial aspect of sporting, in the sporting industry. Now, we have seen over maybe this year and a couple of years that a lot of sport entities in Trinidad are falling apart because of bad management, right? Are you all seeing any people from those organizations willing to come and enter the program in order that they can go back now and restructure whatever sporting organization it is to bring a new life in it? You'll answer that for me when we come back. We're going to take a break.
Oh, okay.
Viewers, this is Scoreboard here on ACTN. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back the tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua D'Amatos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately, hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that? Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Scoreboard here on ACT. And yes, the question I threw out to you all is that we have seen a lot of sports in whatever discipline that we call them falling apart because of bad management. I would think that a program like this, they will want to in order to sustain, whatever sports they're into. Over the couple of years you're running this program, have you all seen any people like them come in? And you will know the audiences that are feeling right now.
Yes, of course.
Are they willing to send anybody or anything like that?
Yes, I try not to. No, I know there are challenges as far as managing sport because it's all based on volunteerism. So I have to put that out right away.
Okay.
But I also have to say candidly that we haven't really seen as many decision makers in sports in the program. And that is an indictment on the NSO themselves. We have had success story, and it's always good to call out the people who have done the program and are doing very well in sports. And Annette Knott is one of our first graduates, and she's now the General Secretary of TTOC. Yeah. We also have, Miss Gregoire here. She's also a graduate, and she's now a coordinator. We have had Charisse, and she went on to do the FIFA Masters. And we have Kamara David, and he also completed the FIFA Masters and is doing very well. He was actually running the Super League.
Yes, yeah.
And he did a very good job. He's now in Italy, pursuing a more international focus. Other than that, I mean, last year we had the president of futsal, right? Right, he has been there, so I'm trying. Right now, we're tapping my brain to see if I remember every student.
That's great.
But if I could call, but if I could call them out, then you know that we're lacking.
Yeah.
So that it's a challenge, and not trying to make excuses for them because that's the reason why we now have it blended learning, because we're really catering for the working sport administrators. So we haven't been able to really attract them. I cannot answer why, and I don't even want to try and guess, because then that wouldn't be a nice thing to do. But that's basically what it is. We're still open, and we know that we have a program that will benefit them. There's something I want to put out there, because I see right now with our economic challenges, I had a conversation with someone who's in charge, and I'm saying, why don't we offer scholarships to the NSOs? And we could say, through the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Sport, that we offer 10 scholarships to 10 NSO every year. Now, how you choose them, you will come up with the policy, you would come up with the guidelines in choosing them, but then you pay for them, so they have no excuse. You are trained now, you've been exposed, now you need to try and get yourself self-sufficient. Yeah, and that is the only way I believe that we could get them to come to the program, because now you are accessing government funds, you're demanding government funds. So now I will request from you or demand that you get trained. And the drawback with training is that people believe that you could go to a workshop in a day and you become a guru. No, my dear, the people who are studying for 7, 8 years to understand marketing. I've been doing it for how many years, and I'm still learning every day. I have to pick up a book, read what's going on, to add to what I deliver. Of course. So at the end of the day, my suggestion in getting the NSOs to step up to the plate is that one way we can do is invest some money in scholarships, at least 10 scholarships per year, and we will be able to get them qualified, and then they will have no excuses.
Have you spoken to anybody concerning that?
Yes, I have. I've presented it. I have had a conversation, and you know, it's really about, I mean, funding is an excuse. So I really try not to say that funding is an issue, because we fund whatever we think is important. We fund whatever we put a priority to. Yes. And I think we need to put a priority to education. Definitely. Because, I mean, no, I'm going to be ranting, but anyway, let me just say what I have to say. Because at the end of the day, you cannot, nobody hires a lawyer who goes to a workshop. Nobody hires a doctor who goes to a workshop. They are fully trained. So why should sports administrators and people who are involved in sports disrespect your profession by not getting the necessary training to deliver at the highest level? And that is my answer as it relates to sports and administration, is that if you really need to deliver at the level that is required, you need formal training, and you have to continue to learn as you go along.
As you mentioned, we always hear about the financial drawbacks and all of the constraints because of finances, and you've said yourself that this program is something that educates people into learning how to generate finances. I think from what I'm hearing, it's an excellent pathway. You've named a few people, but those people have been very successful.
Yes.
I know NSOs are, after financial constraints, it's human resources.
Right, yes.
And it sounds to me that this program generates the human resource,
of course,
that is required to kind of help with the problem that is the finances.
Right.
So what kind of pathways, if you can elaborate a little bit more, maybe in the context of long-term athlete development, would this course provide?
Right. Now, as far as athlete development, the way that I look at this program for athlete development is really preparing athletes to be able to manage themselves. Meaning take care of your business. I mean, you may have a manager and you're busy on the field and everything, and that's fine. But you need to understand that this thing is a business and you have to run it as such. And we have to learn from the athletes outside. And I'm going to call the guru of sports sponsorship and endorsement and Cristiano
Ronaldo.
Right. I'm not a fan of the football too much, but I'm a fan of him as a business. Yeah, as a business person. Yeah. And he recognized that, you know, he is his own brand. And so with our program is really, as an athlete, once you're part of the program, you'll understand that you're your own brand. You need to understand finance, the legal aspect, marketing yourself. So that's, as far as development of athletes, that is the development part that business development on that respect. What was the other part that you asked me? I forget that.
Well, along with that.
Right, the human resource and the pathway and stuff. So, no, as you mentioned, there's no lack of human resource, but we go back to sports being volunteer. And as a professional, the first thing my student would ask, Miss, where am I going to get a job and how much money I'm going to get paid?
Well, I had that question.
So my answer is, yes, I tell them, you know, there are opportunities, and it's not just the sporting industry. Sports is a multidiscipline entity where you can work for Carib, you can work for Guardian Life. These organizations are involved in sports. Yeah. They sponsor sports. They spend millions of dollars on sports. You're the one trained in knowing how to utilize sports to get return on investment. You're the kind of worker that they should be looking for. So it's not just about working for the Ministry of Sports. And the other part is, you know, you have to volunteer. It is what it is. You have to go and volunteer yourself. So we try to develop our internship program to send them in the NSOs so that they can make themselves available and for them to make a connection and see how they can fit in there. That's where we are at this point in time as far as getting them involved in the NSO. The onus is on the student to capitalize on the opportunity and the NSOs to see that, you know, this is a benefit. Utilize them. They're there, they're eager, they have ideas. You may not agree with them. Some of the ideas may fail, but you will only know if you give them a chance. And that's where we are right now. Hopefully we'll see how it could evolve.
Calista, you are one of the persons who went through the program, right?
Correct.
Now, what motivated you to get into the program, and how have you benefited from since then? No, I know you were involved in hockey and different sporting activities, right? But before you, what were you doing before, and what got you involved in the program?
Okay, so I played sports, but I didn't reach the athlete or the elite level in sports.
Okay.
Tennis, swimming, netball at the time. So I love sport, the same passion that everybody says in the interview, watching football, tennis, swimming, all of these things. So it was the person watching the sport from the other side, as opposed to being behind the scenes of how what it takes to run such a sporting event, tennis, all those championships. So when I saw the sports management program offered by you, I was like, okay, because I was studying at a time and everything was business management, business. And sports management seemed like a different field that you can use the same information, but how are you going to apply it to a sporting environment? So I did the program at that time, 5 years ago, and it opened my eyes to different aspects. So the same thing when you have the marketing, the events management, or the finance, you actually see how things, what you see on TV, how it's applicable. So I volunteered. Now volunteerism, of course, is major. For people who don't think it's beneficial, they have to change their whole mindset about volunteerism and internship and everything. It gives you the practical experience, and you can put that experience and apply it, connect the dots for the theory as well as the actual experience. So at the time I volunteered for the FIFA under, I think it was the women's under 17, yeah. Right. So, and I was assigned to the marketing aspect with branding, with Coca-Cola and the perimeter boards and everything. And I learned something in the sense that you have Coca-Cola as the sponsor, and you know at that time you can't have Pepsi or any other product that's not related to Coca-Cola. You understand that. Then you understand that Coca-Cola needs to be placing their products a certain way and how it needs to be categorized. All of these things, while you're in the field, you get to understand all the aspects of learning it from the book, what you read, everything, brand awareness, all of these things. And the program was a unique program, international reach. It gave you the opportunity to meet different persons. So the guest lectures that Shirley spoke about, my sister and I would have attended the guest lectures during the program, and after I graduated from the program, I stayed in contact with the guest speakers. You get the opportunity when you travel to sporting events, you can call them up and say, hey, I'm in Brazil, I'm in Argentina, let's meet up. So you build a lasting relationship with all of these persons, regardless if it's a guest speaker, if it's persons you met from past program as well. Locally, you put yourself out there and you speak with persons. That's how I met Narada. So you get the opportunity to travel to Brazil. It's all a whole, you have to take the program and grasp every opportunity and the possibilities that I can give to you, educational, as well as the practical experience, the networking opportunities, everything. It's it's a wonderful program, and I would encourage anybody in the sports industry or sports field or administrative, executive management position to come and do the program. It's beneficial in all round, all over. Any aspect at all, you can look at it. So it has benefited me in terms of going into the beach soccer.
Yeah.
Right. So I met one of my, I traveled to Argentina and I met somebody at the time when I now finished the program. And this was Kylie Kwai. He's in charge of Likwai Edge now. He was the president of TTFA, the Beach Soccer Association. And just basically talking about sport and love for sport and everything. And he asked me, do you want to come and be part of the beach soccer, the tournament that we have in Tobago annually? And I said yes. So he invited me to actually look on to the game because I didn't know anything about beach soccer at that time. So I came, I observed, and then we came back, and then I provided him with a plan of how things could change, all this. So even the events management, the marketing aspect, you could have put that into plan right there. And since then, I'm now the logistic events manager as well as the social media manager. I handle all the aspects of the beach soccer tournament, and I'm also working with him on other projects like World of Dance and Cheer in the Sun, which is a cheerleading event that we have in Tobago. So avenues are opening. You're getting the part where you put yourself out there, and you don't know where these things could lead. If you can't just sit back and say, okay, I have a postgraduate diploma, and you have to go out there, meet people, start talking, give your ideas, and who knows, they will call you and say, come and help me on this. But you have to help in order to give back, and then who knows where you're going to get it. It's never all about money. It's if it is, it's a passion that you really do have. That passion needs to be the forefront in terms of developing the sport, changing the aspects of the events, the sporting event, and moving on and continue going forward with it.
Now, I visited the beach soccer on a couple of occasions, and I saw where it started and where it is at presently. So I can say for sure that your involvement has more or less shaped the tournament. It's a more international standard flavor. Now, the reason why I asked you that question is because there are those who might be looking at the program and saying, well, I'm going to do the program. Wait, I ain't going to job in Trinidad because sport management is a no-no. You know, so I am glad that you explained that to show the different avenues coming out of it. You might not get a job in Trinidad, but you might get an opportunity, that's provided you want to volunteer, because, everybody now is what financial gains is have. Nobody want to volunteer anymore.
But you see, with the program as well, you join an international university network under CIES. So you have that international reach. So you basically make friends with those other persons in 16 other countries, 15 other countries. And you are assigned, you are joined, they put you onto Facebook, a private Facebook group, where CIES sends information about sports worldwide. So you have resources there, as well as they post jobs worldwide. So it could be FIFA, UEFA, anywhere. And you have the opportunity to apply for those jobs. So it's not only about Trinidad and Tobago, TTFA, or the Ministry of Sport or Sport Company. You have that access to apply for other jobs as well worldwide. But you have to take the step. With that, to the CIS, you have a newsletter that is being sent out weekly, provides information about the products, about the sports worldwide, and persons who join in the different other countries. So it's a family network. It's a student fraternity. And people are friendly with it, because I guess it's because of that community where we all have the same passion for sport. We basically have that opportunity to move beyond Trinidad and Tobago and to the region and to other places. So persons who do the program should not limit themselves in thinking, I want to get a job in Trinidad. Even if it is you're looking to say you want to get a job in Trinidad and Tobago, why don't you open up a business of your own? The same Kyle Nikwai, he opened his own company. So he being part of that helped him to move forward in terms of not saying I would stay in TTFA, but he branched off of TTFA, BSAT, and started his own company in events, in sporting events. Yeah. So it's you can do that as well. You can branch off, not just look for a job in the ministry. Just think of the gaps that we have and open up in whatever field that interests you.
I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of us like to limit ourselves in doing things. And if I could quickly go back and mention the structure of the beach soccer, I also want to say the running of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee. Right. Right? And you said Annette Nutt.
Yes, she's a general secretary.
So when you look at those two entities, you're seeing how it's being run on a professional basis. Yeah. So you're seeing the benefits of the program, giving back. I don't know if you want to...
Yeah. There are some other young ladies who are actually working TTOC who are graduate of University of West Indies undergrad sports management program, and there are a couple of them from UTT who did sports management there as well. So TTOC is living the truth to hiring people with the necessary qualification, and you're seeing the change in the way that they approach social media, the way how they market, the kind of programs they bring forward. So they're a very good example of once you do the proper training, you will have progress. That's what it's all about.
You also mentioned earlier about a sports person themselves, managing their own affairs. Far too long we have seen sportsmen, both men and women in sports, and after their career has come to an end, that's it for them. They're washed up, they're having to look for odd jobs. And when you look at them during their career, they might not have made millions, but they made something that they could have managed properly. They could have, and they didn't do it. So I would think that even retired sportsmen and all at least should get into the program. So again, they can mentor the younger ones, Now, I don't know, Maria, you?
So I want to add something. Jehu Gordon actually is a graduate of the UE undergrad program.
No wonder why he started his cologne business.
Exactly. So I wanted to highlight him because he's also an excellent example of utilizing the skills that he have learned in school to really develop as a business person and yet play sport and run his business, or at least be involved in it and knowing the value of marketing himself.
Yeah, because when I saw him launch the cologne, I was like, come on.
Where you come from? Where that idea, right? No, he has a lot of idea. Yeah. It's good. Sorry for cutting you off.
Well, just in that same respect, because I'm hearing again, or you're saying branding yourself and how important that is. When you look at a lot of different programs now that are geared to be athlete-centered, and while I'm hearing this program is not necessarily for athletes, because athletes may not be inclined to learn about management or business or law, and other people may be, and their interest in athleticism, they can contribute in that aspect. But I'm kind of excited to hear how many ways this program can affect your life. Even when you were talking about the branding, for marketing, a coach may not necessarily want to do all of the marketing and administration, but knowing that positioning your team in a certain way, having them have kit that's presented a certain way, if something as simple as drinking your beverage, if it was, I don't want to name beverages, but with the label showing things like that, and how much that can contribute to the image that is presented to the public. And I think what's exciting about talking about this program is that, and for me too, I came from playing sports and have recently started doing administration, and my mind's just getting blown all the time because I'm like, wow, look at all these things that I wouldn't have considered, and you see the difference it makes when it is considered. I know you said there are 3 different lectures that take place every year.
Yes.
What is the capacity? And I've seen invitations go out. I've attended some. So I'm going to pretend I haven't ever seen it. Is there a way that people can get more involved there? That's a bit of a stepping stone into the program. Perhaps you can answer that after we take a break.
No problem.
We will return.
Okay.
We'll be right back after the show. Changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back that tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua DeMatos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
Kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh.
What's that?
Welcome to this edition of the interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Welcome back. Here on Scoreboard, we're discussing sports management. We were just discussing the public lectures that are open for people to almost get a preview, perhaps, to this program.
Okay, so the public lectures, the guest speakers from international CIES guest speakers that they select, and the public lecture takes place during the first week, which is the face-to-face session for the semester. So it's 3 public lectures for that year, academic year. On an average, we have 50 to 75 persons attending the public lecture. We cater for that amount, 7,500. Initially, it was for only the students, but we open it out to the public. So at least we're getting the persons who may not be interested in the program as yet, but they have an idea of what is being taught in the classroom. Last semester, we had the president of CIES himself, who came and spoke about governance in sporting organization, and then we had a FIFA master graduate, alumni from Austria, who has his own company now, and he spoke about creating and developing new sporting events. So the public lecture is a way to also market the program. It gives the opportunity for the persons outside to see exactly what we do and gets you interested and encouraged, basically.
And these lectures are advertised to NSOs and
to the same
encourage everyone to come and participate?
Yes, and the public, yes.
I know you'd mentioned before scholarship programs.
And it's free.
So it's exactly, it's free. And when you talk about developing those programs, it's something that NSOs, if they come and participate, they can get an idea and know within their community and their group who would be a good person to put forward to do the program.
Yes, definitely.
When is registration going to be opening? When does it close?
Okay, so for the 2018-2019 academic year, registration admissions, it's open now. The deadline for applications is 31st of May, 2018. You can apply online, the UE website. You look for the postgraduate admissions link. You could type that in, and it will come up with the UE apply information page, and you have to apply online.
The cost of
the cost? The program is 1 year. The cost is 24,000 TT. It's gate approved. That's for Trinidad and Tobago, basically, and
50%.
50%.
Yeah. So you pay 12,000. So you pay 6,000 in September, and then 6,000 in January. So it's a small investment.
It's affordable.
So you are looking for a huge, and I guess you are looking for an increase this year.
Right. Well, we cater for 25. I mean, especially with the online environment, 25 is more than enough students to manage. It's a comfortable class. So that's what we're looking for.
You had mentioned before that it used to be all face-to-face.
Right, yes.
For people who are not maybe that used to being online, is there still, I know it's 90-10%, I think you said?
Yeah.
Are you still available for students that need to have face-to-face or would have questions, or are students on their own basically online? How does that work?
No, it's strictly online. However, students are trained to use the platform. It's a Blackboard platform. Pretty much the online, when you say online, people may think it's intimidating, but it's delivered. Like, you know, I'm in my living room, I put on my laptop, and the presentation is done by the lecturer wherever he is. He could be wherever in the country, you could be wherever in the world, and you just log on, and it's like a Blackboard. Pull up your PowerPoint presentation, I speak, you're able to talk, have conversation with the other students, and it's like you're in a classroom, but you're not really in the classroom. Right. So the main thing is that we train the student to use the platform, and we haven't gotten any complaint. In fact, we did a research paper, myself and a colleague, Dr. Ria Singh. We did a research paper on the perception of students and lecturers on the online platform, because our program was the first piloted program in UE to use this blended learning program. And it was well received. The students felt comfortable using it. They like the fact that they could log in on class. So we will call class sometimes 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the night, which is better for them. They don't have to rush to UE trying to get there for 5 o'clock with the traffic and things like that. And it's well accepted on both ends, lecturers and teachers.
So it facilitates people who are working, people who have other responsibilities.
Exactly.
Yes. That really opens up the door for people who are already in positions.
Exactly.
And perhaps can't make it to class all the time.
Exactly. It's a perfect little setup. I think education now is designed to cater for the working adult. We're all working. We're all trying to, you know, conquer this world. So we try to make it easy for you. We're very accessible. The lecturers are very accessible. I wanted to highlight that most of the lecturers are practitioners, more so than ever. We have Kyron Terrett. He's finance. He works in sports company. He has a degree at the University of Massachusetts, which is my university as well. We have
Carol Charles Austin.
Yeah, Carol Charles Austin. She's into project management, and she's also principal. We have Roger Watts. He's into communication, and he runs a lot of different sporting events and stuff. We have Kyron Marquez. He's sports law. He's a lawyer, and he also, I believe, he's president of the Law Association. Myself. So I'm a graduate from the University of the West Indies. What? Am I saying that? Yes, I am, because I did graduate. I have a postgraduate diploma in teaching, but I also graduated from the University of Massachusetts. I'm a hockey player, and love sport. I do it on all levels, as an administrator, as an athlete, an ex-national player of hockey. So we have a very diverse bunch of lecturers who are on the pulse of the industry. So we bring that flavor to the classroom, and I think the students welcome that type of information. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Yes.
We just have about 6 minutes remaining. But is there anything that
time fly.
Yeah, when you're having fun. Is there anything that you would like the viewers to fully understand or be aware of concerning the program? I mean, this is the opportunity now to get the opportunity now to market, you know, to make sure you have your 25
students. Well, let Calicia go first, and then I'll think. Yes, of course, and then I'll go.
Okay, so the program is beneficial in terms of it provides the management tools necessary for you, the working professional involved in the executive positions and leadership positions in sporting events, sporting fields. It's online, it's a blended. The program is designed specifically for the working professionals. So we encourage you the 90% online, 10% face-to-face. It's I don't know if I can say it's the direct route to the UE Master. If you want to proceed with the Master as well as the FIFA Master, you can get a scholarship with that. For further information, if you need any of the information related to your program, contact me at UE 662-2002 extension 83724. My name is Calicia Gregoire. I'm the Sports Management Program Coordinator for the program.
And I will add most importantly, is that it's not just about Trinidad or the Caribbean. It's an international degree. It is recognized outside, hence the reason why we have this network and opportunities for employment throughout the world. So once you have that degree and you apply for any job outside, you are qualified and you will get the opportunity to maybe get that job. So, and I think that is one of the main draw, is that do not limit yourself to looking for a work. And I say work because that's the way some students operate. They're not looking for a career, but if you're looking for a work, it's not about Trinidad. You have to think international, and you will get a career. And that's what what we are about.
Live an example.
Exactly. Yes. And that's our take on the whole thing. I think it's an excellent opportunity, and I just hope that people see it as such and capitalize on it. It's a small investment of $12,000, get approved, and it's 1 year, and you're online. Everything just fit. You just need to sign up.
Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to see so much passion in the people who are doing all the day-to-day and things that pull off sports and make it what it is that athletes like to participate in and viewers like to see. I'm glad that we're having a chance to showcase the amount of work and dedication and knowledge that goes into making these things successful.
Yes.
You're watching Scoreboard on ACTN. If you would like to review this program, it will be showing again tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. And we will be back again next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m.